Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Now, one of the things that we should remember when we look at globalism is it's more than just about what's happening at the national borders and more than just moving people around. Moving people around has been a tool of the globalists because it allows them to create conflicts within countries, but it also allows them to get slave labor. And having open border and so-called free trade allows them to use the free labor of slaves in China and elsewhere to essentially take over markets from people who are working with domestic labor in America, for example. And as we look at this, we need to understand where this is all headed. There's been several stories that have been on the Drudge Report over the weekend talking about the end of employees, the end of human labor, Amazon having stores that are going to be manned by robots. But I want to start with this story about automobiles because, of course, they're not going to allow you to drive cars. Understand, it is not going to be your option. It is not going to be one of these things where if you like your car, you can keep your car. We've heard that about Obamacare, and we saw very quickly that that wasn't true. We told you it wasn't true before it happened. They are not going to allow some people to drive cars while they have these robotic cars on the road. And let me give you an example why. Car Driver was talking about how great Waymo. Now, Waymo is the car company that Google spun off for their smart cars. So Waymo, they said, looks to be way out in front. They're doing much better than all the other 10 companies that are working on self-driving cars. So how good is Waymo doing? Well, they say that they only have to have a disengagement once every 5,000 miles. What is a disengagement? Well, that means that they have a software malfunction that is a complete breakdown, or human drivers have to intervene and take over driving the car. So these things are very far from being able to give us 0 deaths on the highway as they're promising. Think about that. An accident, if you let these things go into fully autonomous mode at this point, you would have an accident every 5,000 miles, about as frequently as you change your oil or rotate your tires. But it's far worse for Mercedes-Benz. They're not doing as well as Waymo. They have to have a disengagement. In other words, they have a software malfunction, total software malfunction, where human drivers need to intervene. They have that happen once every 2 miles. But folks, it is coming. And it is coming because the government wants it to come. The government wants to put us into an Agenda 21 reservation system. They want to track everything that we do, follow us everywhere we go, and tax us for every mile that we travel. And they want the partnership of the corporations to do this. This is going to be a kind of economic fascism. There will be favors handed out to a few car companies that will be allowed to have the robotic taxi business, and they are jockeying for favor with the governments at this point. That's what the Audi commercial, as I pointed out on the radio on Friday, that's what the Audi commercial was all about. They weren't trying to sell cars to women. They weren't showing them a dramatic soapbox derby race and saying, that was you as a child, but now you can drive an Audi. No, they were complaining about equal pay for equal women. They didn't show anybody riding cars, and they didn't show that as being the fulfillment of a girl's dream, her crowning accomplishment in the field of business to be able to afford an Audi. They weren't selling the driving experience. They were complaining about unequal treatment. So their target market was not women even. Their target market was the government, for which they hope they're going to get favors from. Wall Street Journal points out the end of employees. They say never before have big employers tried so hard to hand over chunks of their business to contractors. From Google to Walmart, the strategy prunes costs for firms and job security for millions of workers. At every opportunity, they are looking to outsource human labor. What they have done in the past, using open borders and free trade, they have outsourced to countries where there is slave labor, where they can bring that labor in. Now they're going to bring their companies back to this country, and they are going to start outsourcing away from the slave labor of China or India or third world countries, and they're going to start outsourcing to machines, to robots. That is the true threat to human independence, to our lives as individual humans. And we've seen this happen before with the Indian reservations. That's a perfect example where they were boxed in, not allowed freedom or independence, and even as we see with the Bureau of Indian Affairs, they would shut down many independent Indian businesses, not allowing them the freedom to start their own business, not allowing them the freedom to travel, taking their children away from them in the early days, transporting them across the country to be schooled away from their parents. All of these are tactics that they have now refined and sophisticated for the 21st century. And you have to understand that the end run of all of this movement away towards automation, as we see with Amazon, having a supermarket that only has 3 employees before they have a supermarket that has none. Who is going to buy their goods? They don't care. They want to contain you. They want to control you. The cars are a big part of it, but of course the work is a big part of it as well. Once they pacify you and you're unable to do anything, and the surveillance network, and you've been pacified so that you don't have any skills, you don't have any ambition, then it's time for the soft kill. Stay with us. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back, and we're going to talk about the fight about the immigration travel ban, the temporary travel ban that Donald Trump has put in, and the pushback by the judge. What's behind that? Will it be taken down? We'll be right back.
In case you haven't heard, Infowars has become the most influential media outlet in America. We're making freedom go viral. And now we are proud to announce a new weapon in the epic battle against the globalists. Infowars Prime, where you can watch live high-definition feeds of The Alex Jones Show, plus exclusive insider videos from the Infowars crew and behind-the-scenes action. Go to Infowars.com/app and download today. Infowars Prime is available right now for your iPhone or Android. You will have access to exclusive videos that you can't see anywhere else. And that means live coverage of events and breaking news on location as it happens. You can also take advantage of amazing deals from the Infowars store that are only available for Infowars Prime subscribers. That's Infowars Prime at Infowars.com/app. And if you can hear my voice, you are the resistance.